Amparo de Villa was born on February 28, 1928, in Pinos, a town in Zacatecas, Mexico. She was the only child out of 4 to survive through childhood. The firstborn died at childbirth, the next died as a result of meningitis, and the last son passed away during his infancy. De Villa learned to love reading at an early age by spending time in her father's library. There was a lot of tragedy and fear in her childhood, and this is a recurring theme that has appeared in a number of her works. In 1935, her family moved to San Luis Potosi, where she went to primary and secondary school. She published her first work, Salmos Bajo la Luna, in 1950, and this was followed by Meditaciones a la orilla del sueño. In 1954, Amparo moved to Mexico City, where she became Alfonso Reyes' secretary. Reyes was a Mexican writer, philosopher, and diplomat who opened her eyes to literary circles and encouraged her to publish stories, including Perfil de Soledades. Even with this help, De Villa's success should not be reduced by the male figures who helped her. She built herself a literary career in opposition of her peers and parents who believed it was crazy for a woman to move to Mexico City from the provinces in hopes of pursuing a job in writing. During her time in Mexico City, Amparo began a relationship with Pedro Coronel, an artist and painter. They married in 1958, and that same year their daughter Jaina was born. The next year, their second daughter Lorenzo was born, and De Villa's novel Tiempo Destrozado was published. For the next few years, Amparo spent time focusing on her writing, and in 1964, her book Música Concreta was created. Unfortunately, she also divorced Pedro this same year. 2 years later, she became a part of the Centro Mexicano de Escritores, which was an institution that served as a workshop in which the participating writers listened to critiques from specialists about their works, and De Villa received a grant to continue her writing. In 1977, Árboles Petrificados, a work made up of 11 stories, was published and given the Javier Villarruta Award, a prestigious literary prize given in Mexico to a Latin American writer published in Mexico. In her later years, the author was recognized by the Palacio de Bellas Artes in Mexico City and honored with the Medalla Bellas Artes. Her last poetic work was published in 2011, but many of her pieces are being translated to English so people can still enjoy them. Unfortunately, Amparo passed away on April 18, 2020 at the age of 92. The last years of her life were spent in Mexico, accompanied by daughter Jaina. Throughout all of her pieces, the reader can see the themes of insanity, time, danger, and death, typically felt through a female protagonist. Many of the protagonists have mental disorders that they are unable to escape, and they have to live with the actions they have taken. De Villa focuses her writing on mystery, fantasy, the strange, and unknown. Amparo de Villa was an author who paved the way for other women writers, and she proved that if you set your mind to something, you can achieve it.